Hello, everybody. This is Justin from Breakout Capital Ventures. It is Saturday, the 14th of February, 2026. Today, I'm going to start with ATM. And this one here is, we've called this pretty well, haven't we? We had that blue box reversal zone down here a long time ago. We called that, I think it was about 5.5 pence when I said it's going to go down to 2.5 pence, which is correct. And since then, we said we thought we were going to go up. Which we did. And for me, we've had, our next point of call was at sort of 5 pence level, the grey box at 4.9, which we've hit. And we've had a bit of a pullback to be expected. Where do I think it's heading? Well, I've got a blue box reversal zone down here at 3.72 down to 3.43, which we've seen the ball step in there, which is a great sign. And I think we're getting geared up now for another leg to the upside. And where do I think that's going to go? Well, I think that the next point of call here, once we sort of break and hold above about 4.75 pence, we should be going up to this red box zone here at 5.9 up to 6.5 pence. Possibly higher. Those who followed the story here, we've been covering this off for a long while. I've got a bigger a red box target up here at 10.95 up to 13.2, which I think is going to come into play at some stage in the near future. But play it safe. Let's get to this 5.9 up to 6.5 level and see what happens from there. So that is ATM. I'm just going to nip to the tin chart. And if I go to tin futures and flip to the weekly because that's much easier. Again, another one we should call absolutely spot on. We said that we thought we were going to go up to this 45,000 level to 50,000, depending what happened in that blue box. If we break that prior high, which it did, it smashed it. We were going to head up to this bigger box up here at 56,000. It's hit the top of that box and it's had a bit of a pullback, but that's to be expected. From my perspective, from a technical point of view, but this move, is it over? No, it's not. To me, that's got more upside. So I think you might see a bit more sideways trading around this level, a bit of consolidation. But to me, I think we're going to get another leg up. And my point, I think that we're going to see trading. I think we're going to smash this prior high at some stage. When that is, I don't know. But I think we're going to see that 56,600 level smashed, and we're going to go up to 66,742, possibly higher. For me, that is it's just consolidating. And I think that at some point in the near future, tin is going to set a new all-time high as well. So, that's great for ATM. And another tin miner, which is TIN, Cornish Metals, which you covered off. We covered that at 60p. It's now 140. To me, I think that one's got some more upside, but I'm going to do that in another podcast. The next one I'm going to do today is just get my sheet up. RBD. I haven't covered this one off for a while, don't think. Just get that up. Just get this machine working. RBD and Reabold Resources. This one here, we had a long-term blue box reversal zone down there, and that's been okay. Flip back to the dailies, pretty better. We've had sort of one leg to the upside. Now, to me, from that long-term reversal zone, we should have three waves to the upside, or one up, one corrective, and then another one up. What have I got? I've got a blue box reversal zone here at 0.09 down to 0.0740. I think a few of the traders have cleared themselves out, so that's always a good sign. That it's only the long-term holders left in, and those who believe in the story. I think that this is gearing up for another move to the upside. I think probably a few trading days away from it. But once that consolidation is over, I think we're going to see a bounce out of that blue box, a break above 0.09, break and hold above that, and I think then hopefully we can go on attack, break this prior high at sort of 0.15 level, and that's going to bring us up to 0.2, basically up to 0.23, and possibly even higher. I didn't extend that box for some of that reason, but so RBD, we'll do some research on that one. Next one I'm going to do is Gunn, and this one, I covered it off last week, and it's back in the blue box reversal zone. But for me, I think that that's just readying itself for a move to the upside. Gold is headed in the right direction. I'm going to cover that off in another podcast. I might do sort of a market report. I'm going to see how I get on today, but I might record that and post that up tomorrow. For me, I think Gunsynd is getting ready to move to the upside. And, I think that, once we've sort of moved to the upside, breaking held above that top of that box at 0.124 level, breaking hold above them, so this 0.185 should bring us up to 0.214, up to 0.244, and even possibly 2.284. So that's potentially a bag plus in Gunn. So worth doing some research on that one. Next one to do is SNDA. I mean, who'd have thought it? But we covered this off a long time ago, and it had some terrible funding. And I've not looked at. I know there was news out this week, but I've not looked at the news. I haven't had a chance. But I had that long-term reversal zone, which you can have a look at my posting history. And even when we had that terrible funding, I wondered what was going to happen to make that bounce the upside. Was it going to be an excellent drill result or something? But some news has come out which I'd need to look at. And it's trying to break the top of that blue box, so it looks like it's turning bullish. Where do I think that's heading? Well, for me, my first point of call there would be 0.0568 up to 0.0664 pence. I do have bigger targets on that one. I've got a 0.1265 and a 0.1550. So, there's potentially an awful lot of reward in Sunda Energy. However, I think you need to do your research on it and see what's happened, because I know it's sort of had a sort of death spiral funding. So, that's not a good sign. And it's potentially sort of, a binary play in the fact that it's just one drill. But worth doing some research on that one. I'll be doing my own research later on today. KNDC is my next one. Cadence Minerals, and we've covered this off a few times. I think that this 3.8 level is a pretty good area to be loaded up. We're still within this long-term reversal zone here from below 5.7 pence. We've sort of had an attack on it back in sort of September 25, and I think we're going to go again fairly soon. For me, break it and hold above this prior high here, sort of 6.42, and I think we're going to at least 8.08 up to 9.46. But my favoured option here is 10.15 up to 12.55. There's going to be loads of news out on that. The market cap is covered potentially. Realistically, it's going to be covered by the income short term, and then they've got a much bigger project. I've covered that off a few times, but KDNC, worth popping in your research list and find out what's going there. OMI is my next one, and had an awful week, hasn't it? Dreadful. What can you say? I gave that a target of 40.2, which I didn't. I thought it was going to go higher, and even I held. I bought this blue box down here at 19.4 level, and I held all the way up, and I held it all the way down as well. What do I think is happening here? Well, I think it's the same destination, just another path. I think that's what we're following. So, I think I've got this blue box reversal zone down here at 25.1 up to 22.2. I did post that in the Telegram group for OMI over, the Telegram group. But I didn't think it was going to get down to that, but it has, but it is what it is. So I think, we'll get another wave to the upside. I'm pretty sure of that. So, I think that it's going to be a 1, 2, and then we're going to get 3, which I've got this 45.2 up to 51.4, which then would take us into that bigger red box zone, which I've talked about for a long while, 46.3 to 58.4 and onwards. But if we could get to 45.2, I'll be very happy with that, and reassess the situation from there. But I think that at the moment it's offering an absolute fantastic opportunity to load up. So OMI, worth doing some research. ALRT Defence Holdings, and this one, looks, it's in a blue box reversal zone, and that original 1.2, that was perfect. We had a one bounce to the upside. We've had a corrective move here, and I think that we're gearing up for a move to the upside. So whatever news is going to come out of the company delivers news. I mean, this is a company that delivers lots of news. There's always an RNS. If it's not a couple of days without an RNS, it's a shock. But really, this is the business end of things. So, if I go back, if I talk short term, for me, the short term, I think that, break and hold above this 2.3 level, which to me, it should do. And then I think we've headed up to 2.43, up to 2.7, and possibly even 3.2. So, that's potentially a bag from where we are today at the moment. But, if I'm talking longer term, then, we've still only had one wave to the upside, as in over here. So that to me is one wave. That is our completely corrective move. Fingers crossed. And this hopefully then is, if they can drop some news, a big contract, then we and break this prior high, sort of break and hold above sort of 4.25 So if we could do that, then we'll activate this red box here. Up here at 5.86 up to 7.34. So, there's potentially an awful lot of reward in ALRT, but in order for that prior high to be broken, for me personally, I think it's the business end of things. So they need to be producing contracts. If they can produce contracts in monetary value, which is sufficient to make it look like the company's going to be sustainable, then I think 5.86, 7.34, probably even higher than that. You're probably talking sort of 10p area, but it obviously, but it's a high risk from the point of view that they've got to deliver, and not a lot of these companies do deliver, but this company does have the right ingredients. I mean, goodness me, it's got a great board of people, it's promising. But as I say, do your own research. So that's ALRT. Jan is my next one. JAN, Jangada Mines. And this one, it's raised capital during the week. So that's a pretty good sign. So it's capitalized. I don't know what the capitalization price is. I've written that down, but I've forgot my note there. But where's it go? Well, it needs to break and hold above this 2.1 level. If it can break and hold above that 2.1, we'll see trading up to 3.08, up to 3.56, and possibly 4.16 pence. So I think you might need to churn a bit of that placing money over, but it depends how much has been held on to. We saw Ton, I think they did a placing just recently, and it's just whoever the placees were held tight, and they've done wonderfully well out of it. So hopefully that sort of passes over to Jan as well. But it's worth doing some research on that one. REE is my next one. And this one here is had a lot of noise on it just recently. But where do I think that's headed? Well, it needs to break and hold above this say break and hold above 2.5 pence. That's going to bring us up. It still looks like a tiny red box up there, doesn't it? But I've got 3.06 up to 3.16 up to 3.26 pence. So potentially 50% return on your money on that one. But, as I say, it's got to break that high there. Personally, I'd like to probably see a bit of a consolidation here and then go again. But, it could continue on a straight line. I mean, who knows? So, I think Barra Investments is in it. And, he does his research. He's very good at, at his research and calling great. Long, so worth following him. Next one I'm going to do is Wcap. And this one, Aquis stock. I think this is a binary play on a drill. And for me, it's in a blue box. It's just above a blue box reversal zone. So 0.8726 down to 0.35 level. So, I don't know what the market cap is, but I imagine it's quite small. Aquis listed, so it's only certain people can trade that. IG accounts, I think, as far as I know. But if it gets good drill results, the rewards are going to be massive. I don't know. In fact, my workings are gone, but you're probably going to be talking something like that's your wave 1, so that's your 2. You're probably talking 4 or 5 pence. So, excuse me. But so that's an awful lot of reward. That's 4 bags from where it is at the moment. But if it's a dud, it's probably just back down to 0.35. So risk reward. I mean, obviously it's a high risk, but potentially really high reward. So worth having a look at that one. EPP is my next one, and a fan's favourite that seems to be going in the right direction. That's one where we called that blue box down there. Yeah, absolutely bang on. I mean, it just touched that blue box and then bounced the upside. But for me, I think it'll break and hold above 8.25 pence, and we'll be going up to this red box zone here, 12.45 up to 15.3. and even possibly 18.95. So it's done tremendously well, hasn't it? But as I say, it needs to break and hold above 8.25 pence in order to activate that box there, in my opinion. HREE is my next one, and this one I've covered off a few times. To me, it's we gave that reversal zone down here at 1.43 down to 1.17, which is correct. Blue box reversal zones, that's where you want to be loading up. That's where you're going to make your money. Pretty safe bet. Sit and hold. They can take a few weeks to play out, and sometimes they can take a few months, and in some cases I think it can take a year, but where else are you going to get 100% return on your money? I don't know, but for me this is an active blue box. I think we're heading up to 2.88, 3.3 and 3.84. That's where it's going in my opinion. So HREE, let's do some research. Kefi is my next one, and just get that one up. Kefi gold and copper. I think it was recently capitalised. But for me, I think if we could, it's probably almost there, isn't it? If we could get a blue candle and close on that on Monday, I think that's going to activate probably another leg to the upside. And I would have thought we're heading up to 2.93 up to 3.61. A lot of money in that one. We're doing some research. Next one I'm going to do is Hex, and I haven't covered this one off for a long while because they look pretty well actually over the period of time. But I had a blue box reversal zone, and still I was hoping it was going to stay in my blue box for the Wecap podcast, but on Friday it's just gone and shot out of it, hasn't it? But how annoying is that? So previously we had that lower box there, 14.58, and we said we thought we had to 30.65. It didn't quite make it, 30.55. So it's almost there. So I'm going to say that leg's done. So if we can break and hold above this 30.5 pence level, break and hold above that, I think it's going to activate this red box here, and I think we're going to 42.8 up to 47.9 and possibly even higher than that. I should have extended the box. I forgot to do it. But Hex, worth doing some research on that one. GWMO is my next one, and Great Western Mining. This one here, where do I think that's headed? Well, I had this, it's now a grey box, so 2.25. I think that's been dealt, so that's done. So, I think, if we can break and hold above that 2.3 level, I think you're going to activate this red box here at 2.96 up to 3.355 and possibly 3.8.5 pence. So, GWMO, I think it's got some drill results outstanding on that one. So, worth doing some research. UPL is my next one, and I think this is going to be my last one. In fact, I might do another one. Sorry, got the wrong one there tonight. UPL, it's over on the LSE. Where do you think that's heading? Well, UPL, it's break and hold above 4 pence. I think that's going to take you up to 5.56, probably 6.84, and possibly 8.48 pence. A lot of money in that. And if I sort of go out, I'll probably go to my weekly. No, just get that back there. I have got a longer term target. Oh no, that is my longer term target. Sorry, yeah. So because we had that spike back here, and I think that was something to do with a buyout or something. But something ridiculous back in 2023. I had a massive spike up. It turned out to be false information. But so I've kind of ignored that in terms of calculations because I don't think that was true trading. And I've ignored that. I think, break and hold above this 4.19 level, I think it would take us up to 5.56, 6.84, 8.48. So UPL, worth doing some research on that one. Then the next one I'm going to do is Pxen and Prospex Energy. Apparently it's had a new CEO and it's got £10 million of revenue. So worth doing some research on that. I've not followed it too closely of late, but it is in a long term. It's in a blue box reversal zone down here at it's bottom of an extended box as well. So down at 2.13. If they can get that right, we should get a good 3 ways bounce to the upside, and even 6p, something like that, at least one would suspect. So and if I flip to the weekly, it's got an awful way to go, long way to go to correct that downward move, which it was, it's almost at 21 pence, long time ago. If they've got it really right, then you're talking 22.1, but I'd have to break that prior high there. So I don't think we'll talk about that for today. But yeah, PXEN, worth doing some research on that one. I've got another one which I'm going to cover off, TLM, but chart wise, I don't really have any information on it. In fact, if I go to it, TLM, and there we go. So Afzal is asked for a chart on it a couple of times actually, and he's given some tremendous research on that. So have a look at my request page and click on his ID and search for his research there. He's a very well researched individual, but it's just not enough trading data for me to give an accurate forecast of where that's going to go. But he did highlight it to me before it was came to market. So it's at 7 pence. It's done 50% at least, or over 50% before. Well, straight away. So absolute fantastic call. I hope it's one now going to be tracking, and hopefully we can get a blue box entry in the near future. But for now, really, there's nothing to stop it. It's new to the market. There's no data. It could go wherever it wants to go. So there's going to be no headroom on that. There you go. That's me for this Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. See you again soon.